Hello and welcome to FTB Sports. We've got that going again. Little bit of a hiccup there. Sorry about that. Good evening and welcome to FTB Sports, everybody. This is the preview show for the game. Spurs versus Liverpool kicks off at 8 o'clock on Thursday. I'm joined again by my guest, Mike. How are we doing, Mike? We all right?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Looking forward to this one. What did you think of our game yesterday?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game on Thursday after yesterday night. Well, last night's game. I think it's just going to be a case of move on to the next game, back in the league, big game. Let's kind of get revenge on Liverpool and get those 3 points, which is what we want at the end of the day.
Yeah. I know. I was going to think today, how can we beat them? So I'm going to ask you that question. How do you see this one going?
Do you know what? I'm of mixed opinion, because part of me thinks that the sort of counter-attacking game plan that we had against them did kind of work, even though we lost 2-1 and we lost in the last minute. We had plenty of chances, and on another night, if we'd taken those chances, we could have won that game quite comfortably. But then on the flip side of that, since we've moved to we've moved to like a more 3-4-3 type formation, and I kind of like it insofar as we're a little bit more aggressive in our attacking play, which I think probably suits the majority of our players more so than this sort of counter-attacking setup. But I think we'll give Liverpool the respect that they deserve, and I think we'll do the counter-attacking game plan. That's how I think we'll set up.
I look at the game that Liverpool played against Man U. Now they seem to be a little bit more of attacking intent because they haven't scored in 4 Premier League games. But you still have to give them the respect, regardless of who they've got missing. They're not Premier League champions for nothing. They're not ex-European champions for nothing. So they are going to need to have that respect. I think for them, the pressure's all on them. I think they need to come out. They need to attack, which might play into our hands, which is why I think that Jose will probably employ the tactics that he's always employed against these big teams. But I just think because they're on life support machine at the moment, I just want to take advantage of that. There could be a chance to really stick it to them, get a great result. We're at home. I know there's no crowd, so that's not really going to have an influence. But it's the fact that pressure's on them. I can already see Jurgen Klopp being a bit rattled. His post-match interview after the game on the weekend against Man United, he sounded like, very, very edgy. He was getting rattled, and he started off by saying his team played well. Then he started to blame this. I was kind of lost in how, what his synopsis was of the game. But I really think we have an opportunity here to go at them, maybe take the game to them, but just cautious of the Jose probably sees this as being employ the same tactics. We did have good success against them, and on another day we could have probably had the victory. They scored late with Firmino. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tight.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. And again, obviously, starting lineups are going to be very important.
I think that will be key as well as to who plays, who starts, etc. This one's a little bit tricky because obviously Liverpool, like you say, they're going to be under pressure, so they're not going to want to suffer another away defeat or another game in the Premier League where they haven't sort of scored a goal or whatever. And obviously they've been knocked out of the FA Cup, so I don't know. It's one of them where you can either rule with your heart or rule with your head. And I hope Mourinho goes with his head and not his heart. So whatever that might be, I trust I trust Mourinho's judgment call on this. I think he'll employ the tactics that we're accustomed to against the big sort of six teams. So
I definitely see that. Well, we've got Solo 1979 here. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Another comment from Solo. Hopefully Spurs win 2-1. Well, we're going to get into our score predictions closer to the end of this. One more comment here. Just get it up on the screen. Sorry about that. Again, show this one. But it depends on who Liverpool have back from injury at the back. So, again, we don't know. We've done this preview a day before the press interviews. So we can't really gauge. From what I understand, we don't have any significant injuries other than Lo Celso. So we are pretty much at a full strength. Liverpool, obviously, with their injury-wise at the back, they're going to be looking to see who they're going to employ. Henderson was out of the game against Man United. I think it was just a knock. I think he'll be back for the game. Whether or not he plays him at the back, it does depend on Matip. So they have been obviously playing Fabinho. Fabinho's been okay, but he's not a centre-back. Matip, I've not really rated him as the best centre-back in the world. So there's an opportunity, given the players that we have, given our capabilities up front, and Ndombele, Ndombele as he's being called now, he's a key. He could really unlock that Liverpool midfield if they haven't got their full strength midfield in there, because they're having to shuffle their pack. So it's something where if we can, as we normally do, we score that early goal, put the pressure on them.
Yeah, and the thing is, the amount of games where we do score ridiculously early. If we get an early goal like we are capable of, because I mean, in the Premier League, we've been scoring goals within like 5-6 minutes, which is ridiculously quick. If we can get that early goal, that could almost sort of put more additional pressure on Liverpool, in terms of, okay, they might attack us even more than what they might do if the game was level and they're not chasing it, which if they do, that might open them up at the back a little bit and leave them vulnerable, which us on the counter-attack, I don't think there's many teams as potent as us on the counter-attack. I know Man United fans might beg to differ, but yeah, our goals speak for itself, really, in terms of clinical finishing with the chances that we create.
Most definitely. So what's your thinking towards our starting lineup? We've talked about Liverpool with their injury worries, and we've also mentioned about us pretty much being at full strength. Given the starting lineup against Marine yesterday, there was obviously some significant changes. Who do you think is going to be in that starting lineup come Thursday?
I think, again, this all depends on whether they're fit or not. But I'm expecting Ori will probably be back fit. Dyer, Reguilon. Who partners Dyer in the centre back? It will be interesting, because Toby played 90 minutes. And has he got another sort of? Well, has he got 45 minutes in him 2 days later? He's knocking on a little bit. He's 31 now, I think. So
yeah, 31,
and he's been injury prone as well. So does Mourinho just not take the risk and play Rodon instead? He might give Rodon the chance, because I mean, he was good against Chelsea once he settled into the game.
I think Rodon has to start. I personally think he has to start.
I think he probably will start, because he has been impressive when he has played. And if he gets the opportunity against the Liverpool and he does well, then you could argue that might cement him in that as a centre back going forward for the rest of the season. And then it might be a switch up between Dyer and Toby as to who partners Rodon. You just don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one though, because I find it intriguing. I hope if he puts Sanchez at the back and plays him, because he is capable to play another 90 minutes 2 days later, then
Sanchez.
we're in all sorts of trouble.
We can't talk about that player on this show. I refuse to do that anymore. I know we've been critical of him, But again, yesterday we watched. We all kind of agreed in terms of that sort of nervousness. And tomorrow's game, Thursday's game is going to be a bit pressurized. You know, I can see obviously Dyer coming back. I think the Reguilon left back, Aurier right back, Højbjerg obviously. Again, Ndombele is going to be slightly in front. It's who partners him. Now, I think Winks has done enough. I was a little bit critical of him yesterday in terms of Winks' performance, but I had a look back over what he did do, and he certainly looks a lot better when Højbjerg came on. That was the thing. That was the difference.
Yeah, and I did watch because I recorded the game, and I did actually watch parts of it back, and actually Winks probably didn't have as bad a game as perhaps I thought he did. I didn't think he was that good during the live game, but when I watched it back, he's actually quite effective in what he did. And so I don't think he's. I think he's done more than enough to start at Liverpool on Thursday. So I wouldn't be surprised if he partners Højbjerg.
Yeah. So I think you're right in that.
And in many respects, he has to sort of he has to put Ndombele ahead of the two holding midfielders as such. So if it's Højbjerg and Winks, which does make sense with Ndombele just playing in front, and then I think the front three, I think is obvious, isn't it? Son, Kane, and I think it'll be Bergwijn. I think
it's a good point, that, because all the reports, and we talked about it yesterday as well, Bale had his best game, I think, since he's been here. And the opposition, Wickham, they are a championship team, physical, all the rest. So they're professionals. At the end of the day, it's not Marine we're talking about. And you could see there was a few spurts where he was drifting past players, he would drop his shoulder. I don't know if he will start again, because that's 2 games in very quick succession. I can't see that happening. And Bergwijn didn't play at all. So there's no reason why Bergwijn won't start on Thursday. As you said, Son and Kane came off the bench, didn't have to play too much, but did enough just to get their legs kind of moving.
20 minutes,
Solo here says, if Spurs lose tomorrow, where will you finish in the league this season? Well, for me, I was going to ask the question, we're still in all 4 competition. Where does the link rank in our priority? If we lost on Thursday, I don't think Jose would give the league up. I still think he'd obviously try to win it, but he would, I believe, prioritize the other competitions, i.e. the Europa, the FA Cup. We're obviously in the final of the League Cup. I think it sends out a message, though, if we can win on Thursday.
Yeah, I think also as well, I mean, even if we did lose on Thursday, it really isn't the end of the world, because if we have results that go around us at the weekend and they go our way, then that loss isn't the end of the world, because the league could change. That top 6 could easily change in 1 game, 2 game, 3 games time. So it's a weird season, and as I say, normally if you lose a game, you kind of think, I think top 4 might be out of the question. But if we lose 1 game, it's still not out of the question. We're still well within that top 4 fight. So,
and we've got that game in hand. So we've got a game in hand against Liverpool, but we're only a point behind them. We don't really want it to go to 4 points. I think we've still got to be in touch and distance of Liverpool. The 2 Manchester clubs being out in front. I think City looking like they're beginning to like purr a little bit. They've got another game in hand as well, or maybe a couple of games in hand. And so they are undoubtedly, I think, the favourites now to win the Premier League. But saying all of that, as you said, it's very funny. Kevin De Bruyne is out for them. There's opportunities for other teams with the games in hand to start putting a bit of pressure on. So you just never know. But I still think if tomorrow, I always keep mentioning tomorrow, if Thursday's game, let's say we don't win, I honestly think that, we'll still look at the league and think, because he's always saying it's 1 game at a time, 1 game at a time. But I can honestly say that we'll be prioritizing other competitions more so than the league. That's my thoughts. Solo here with a comment. What would you combine, Spurs and Liverpool team? Well, I don't think we've got enough time to go through that, but at this moment in time, I wouldn't have any of them in my team. I wouldn't have any Liverpool players in my team.
There's not. I mean, going forward, I mean, are you going to swap what we've got going forward for any of those Liverpool players? They're just not firing on cylinders.
Only player I would take in would be Mane, not Mane, because I don't think he's playing well enough. Would be Salah. Salah's obviously top goal scorer at the moment. If you probably take Bergwijn out, put Salah in the front three of Salah, Kane, and Son. That's tasty. Midfield wise, I wouldn't swap any.
I was going to say I wouldn't. I agree with you on the Salah, but I mean midfield wise, I wouldn't bother with any of their midfield. I think our midfield's fine as it is. Like, Thiago might be the only person that I would play or put in the team in midfield, and then the only other defender wise, I'd only put Robertson in at left back just because I like him as a full back. That's purely it.
Yeah. I do like him, but I think if you go on past form and all rest of it, I'd say Robertson definitely over Reguilon. But again, at this moment in time, is he doing that more than Reguilon is? I don't think so. Trent, I think, struggling a little bit at right back. Some of the Liverpool fans may disagree with that, but I think he's struggling. I've always thought he struggles defensively anyway. Aurier does as well, to be fair. But he's done a little bit better in the last few games I've seen him, certainly trying to cut out that silly error he seems to have. But if we're talking current form, I'd probably only take Salah. Let's get into this then, the last bit of this show. Score predictions. Let's see how brave you are. Let's see how brave I am. What do we think this is going to be?
Oh. Do I go with my heart? Do I go with my head? I'm going. And do you know what? Actually, just before I give my prediction, I've not been far off the mark in the last few games of what I've. So I've got our sort of goal tally pretty much spot on. It's just like the conceding part. But I'm going to say this based on form and what I've seen of Liverpool at the moment. They beat they didn't beat Man United. They scored twice against Man United, but I thought those goals were just poor defensive errors by United more than Liverpool opening up United and creating those chances. So I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs.
And you know what? That's what I was thinking. No, I might take that back because I thought earlier today I was thinking, 2-0 Spurs, but I said 3-0 against Wickham and they scored. And I've always got this thought that we've got this, regardless of how good our defensive unit is and how many goals we've not conceded this season, I always think we're just susceptible to that one odd goal. Now I'm going to go 2-1. I think I'm going to say 2-1. I think we'll win the game. I want us to win the game. And if we do win the game, that puts us right back into the mix, really does put us back into the mix. And it would be really good to see what them Liverpool fans start to do if they lost, because I reckon it's meltdown time after that. I really do believe it's meltdown time.
And the thing is, no one expects us to win tomorrow. Everyone, all the sort of neutral fans will probably be thinking, I'd like Tottenham to win, but I don't think they'll win. And that, I think, I think from a mental perspective, always stands us in a good stead because we always perform better when we're the underdogs. I think when we played Liverpool first time round, for some reason, everyone had us as the favourites, which that's very debatable. But this time, I don't think anyone expects us to win. I think everyone expects possibly maybe a draw, maybe a Liverpool win. But I think we always play better when we're the underdogs. So
you're going 2-0.
I'm going 2-0. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be bold.
Well, we've both gone for 2 goals to be scored by Spurs. I'm saying 2-1. let's wrap this up now, because I want to go and watch some of them other games, particularly the Arsenal one against Southampton, because I think that's going to be tidy. I really hope Southampton do them. That'll be fun in itself. Just with regards to you guys watching out there, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to do a draw from the hat, and you can win a shirt, a shirt of your choice. Probably best if it's a Premier League shirt, because I don't know where you're going to find certain shirts if you're not like Crawley Town. I don't know where you'd find that one. Anyway, yeah, we want to get 500 subscribers, and then we're going to be doing a free giveaway. Like, subscribe, share, comment. FTB Sports. Mike, thank you very much. Hopefully this outro is going to work a little bit better than what we had earlier, so apologies for that. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you on the reaction show.